Well, I finished Attack on Titan. And Attack on Titan, it definitely lived up to the hype. People were glazing it so hard, and since I'm currently on a mainstream cleanup, I decided to watch it. And after a month and a half, the show is over, and boy oh boy does it feel rough. Once again, welcome to Expanding Horizons, and I'm here to cover my thoughts of the entire show. Beware of spoilers if you haven't watched it, and if you liked the video, pretty please like and subscribe because I want to see the numbers go up. It'll give me a dopamine boost. But yeah, anyways, let's go. So I really don't know how I'm gonna do this video. I decided I'ma script it, so I'ma script it. But where do I even begin? I guess I'll start with how the seasons felt themselves. So I guess I'll start with Season 1. Season 1 is without a doubt the best part of this entire show for me. It was perfect. Perfect, down to the smallest details. The world gets introduced and then the Titans attack and everyone gets a reality check. Eren witnesses his mom's death, and he decides to go Titan killing. Season 1, specifically the first half of it, is primarily Eren training to join the Survey Corps and in general meeting all the people there and getting to know them and their stories and yada yada. Characters which are in my humble opinion rather goated. Season 1 spirals from training into Eren sacrificing himself for Armin. But then getting powers to transform into a Titan. And from there the show shifts massively. The rest of the season is Eren learning to use the Titan form, getting exposition and fighting the female Titan, which is a big and nasty threat. Alright, the female Titan is Annie Lamau. Obvious, but alas. Regardless, Season 1, in my opinion, is the best part of the show, easily. It's basically just a current objective survive. And once Eren defeats Annie, there's the Wall Titans reveal, which is a huge cliffhanger and a butt scratcher. Season 1 is an easy 9.5 out of 10. Season 2 was a direct continuation, and it's a season where everything starts going even more wacko more than before. There's a whole village of Titanized people, including Connie's mom, and Ymir has a not-so-secret secret. Then there's also the whole siege section of Survey Corps being trapped in a castle. You also get introduced to Zeke, the Beast Titan, in a really hard scene to watch in my opinion. But then there's also probably the most casual plot twist or reveal ever made in the history of media in general. Bluetooth and Raygun turn out to be Titans. Actually, never mind, I'm just gonna play out the scene because holy hell.
Absolute cinema.
A lot of stuff happens in this season, and I swear that whole section alone, it's so good. It's genuinely perfect. And the season ends off with a big bang as everyone tries to save Eren. Some important deaths and injuries happen, but then Eren awakens to some sort of insanely overpowered power to control Titans. Yeah, I mean, Season 2 is really good, but here comes my complaint. I will mention this as well as over every single episode. With every new Titan transformation reveal, I kinda got a little bit sadder, quote unquote, because the reason why Season 1 to me is an incredible masterpiece and the best part of the show is because Eren is the only one that can transform, and all the emotional scenes of people outright exiling him and wanting to game end him, all of that just kinda loses its luster. I mean, one guy being able to transform is insane, but then if every single person, if there's more and more people that transform, it kind of loses its luster. I love how Season 1 went with the current objective survive approach. It was genuinely great to see humans fight them. Season 2 was great. It's a solid 8 out of 10. Psych, that's what I said to everyone when I first finished the show. But now that I'm checking what happened in Season 2 and the amount of foreshadowing, I'd say it's an 8.5 out of 10. I can't give it a 9 because I really loved Season 3. Spoiler alert, I guess. And now, speaking of which...
What's the truth? What to believe?
Season 3. So Season 3 starts off weird, but by the end I genuinely think it's my second favorite season. It goes from having human versus human fights into having neat plot reveals into having a genuine best arc in the series, and subsequently the biggest plot reveal of the series. I think Kenny is an amazing antagonist, and all of the fights, including him and Levi, and in general all the human fights, every single one of them, they were all extremely good.
What the fuck? Man, I don't want to talk to you, bitch.
There's a whole ordeal about a coup that Erwin plans out, and also the entire plot reveal of what Grisha did, but once that happens, the true peak of Season 3 is the return to Shiganshina arc. Holy hell. The Shiganshina arc contains a really intense scene of finding Raygun and Bangladesh while they're hiding in the walls, which is a cool little thing. They set up a really strong trap which leads into probably top 5 scenes of the show. Erwin's last charge and Armin's sacrifice. Erwin charges with recruits to buy Levi enough time to style on Zeke, which, just look at this man.
さっきは随分と楽しそうだったな。もっと楽しんでくれよ。
Levi game ends Zeke, which then leads to the climax of the season, really. And yet another incredible scene, a choice has to be made. A scene that was spoiled by early credits, by the way. I hate that. This entire scene was genuine cinema. It was basically a treasure versus treasure choice. Erwin was an incredible character that stood business until the end. I really thought they were gonna do a 180 on him and make him do something questionable or evil by the end, but no. I mean, sending recruits to their death is questionable, sure, but like, I was thinking they might make him turn coat, but no. Until the end, he stayed a Giga Chad. From the first scene and until the end. Armin, on the other hand, he stood business on fighting against Blade Runner. He lied to Eren and went down in a blaze of glory, literally. Both genuine S-tier characters, and Levi has to choose who to revive. It's a painful scene, especially with how Eren and Mikasa are in denial and attacking Levi. Quick side note, that outro scene made me think whatever happened was like Levi also turning traitor, so that made me mad, but thankfully that wasn't the case. Regardless, Levi revives Armin despite everything, and then we get the final reveal of the entire series. Overall though, Season 3 is an easy 9 out of 10. Incredible moments despite the rather strange start. Which now leads into my tangent. And I'll talk about Season 4 as well. So that reveal, while being kinda predictable, soured me. I would have liked the show much more if it really was just the final humanity left on Paradis. But unlocking the basement gave them knowledge of people outside of the walls being the big bad, and which led into Season 4 being just so weird and so mixed. I really disliked the the World War II part of the show. It was very obvious as a message. War is bad, and segregation is bad. Eldians, Marlians, and everyone, it soured things for me. At that point, I even said to a friend, I miss when we didn't know that. It does put things into perspective, sure, especially a lot of foreshadowing in the prior seasons, and I mean a lot. But Season 4 starting off with the Devil's Baby, Gabi, and the other people really made me mad because I know what they want to do. They want to make me care for the other people because, again, war is bad. Such a shocking revelation that war is bad. Thank you, Attack on Titan writer, for your controversial take.
Who would have thought? Not me.
Regardless, I'll breeze past Season 4 quickly. Many bad things happen in this season. Eren infiltrates Marley and commits mass genocide, and probably the coolest scene he ever had.
俺は進み続ける。敵を駆逐するまで。
The gang shows up to help him commit mass genocide by committing more genocide, but unfortunately Sasha dies, which I dislike. But it's war. That's the point. Unexpected deaths, yada yada. At least hearing Eren cry laugh was reason enough to hate Marley even more. Another side note, people are mad that Eren was laughing when she died, but I was like 100% sure, okay, 99% sure that he was cry laughing as a coping mechanism. I mean, he did the same when Hannes died, so I have no idea how people can misinterpret that. The entire Marley siege was incredible. Armin turning into the colossal titan like Bumbleclot, and Eren doing the same thing that Ray William Johnson did. He even says they're the same. Bravo, writer, you're subtle. Then, after all that, Eren starts an uprising on Paradis with Floch and other Jaegerists. Eventually, there's a really painful scene which, well, I might as well say what I think about Eren before that scene. Eren is probably my favorite character of the show overall. He isn't perfect, but I really think the way he goes from hero to villain is genuinely great. Now the thing is, I've been spoiled even before I started the show that Eren was gonna be the bad guy at the end. Naturally, I didn't really think about that and how it would happen. I think the best example is when Hannes died and Eren cry laughed. That scene made me think, oh, I see. Well, that's really sad if this is gonna be the start of his downfall.
何にも変わってねえな、お前は。何にもできねえじゃねえかよ。何にも。
Because before season 4, I really thought that the final season was gonna be when like Mikasa and or Armin both died, which was gonna send him into a spiral. Like, it was evident even before, like Hannes dying and all the other people dying would have taken its toll and it would have made him snap. But then season 4 rolled around and we get the actual reveal of why he's doing that. I mean, him just taking revenge on literally everyone outside of the walls. Which is, in my opinion, my honest opinion, completely valid. A reasonable crash out. To me, Eren took extreme measures and I really don't see him as a bad guy. But, you know, writing is supposed to make you dislike him, especially with that table scene where he goes wacko mode on Armin and Mikasa. As mentioned, that scene was genuinely painful to watch, which was the first time I was like, Eren, my man, I can excuse mass genocide, but I draw the line at harming your day ones.
I can excuse
Mass genocide,
but I draw the line.
harming your day ones.
You can excuse me.
Mass genocide. So, regardless, let's continue. Uprising starts, Eren and Jaegerists cause mayhem, and at the same time the Marleyans invade Shiganshina, which has a lot of good stuff in it. But at the end, Eren makes a run to get to Zeke, which leads to Gabi straight up one-shotting Eren with a sniper. And yeah, I mean that, bro gets decapitated.
Be advised, you should stop playing this game and go touch some grass, you little virgin.
You know, I hate Gabi, I really do, but I gotta admit that was kinda cool. That aside, Zeke and Eren manage to touch, and then plot happens and reveals a whole episode of messing up the show. Biggest issue was making it so that Grisha did all he did because of Eren from the future. Which was just so annoying to me. Grisha was somewhat interesting, but that reveal butchered not only him, but the show, in my opinion. Well, not butchered the show, but it definitely impacted the season. I just hate what they did with that. That aside, Eren fucks up Zeke and traps him inside of the past dimension, which I genuinely don't understand anything at this point, I'ma be honest, so whatever. The rumbling starts. Yippee. The rumbling is genuinely incredible. It's a perfect way to set the end game of the show, and the rumbling helps unite the people to fight Eren, which was obvious from the get-go. That's how writing works, you know, common enemy. Everyone teams up to defeat Eren and save the world. Hange ends up sacrificing herself in a great scene, albeit unnecessary. Flock dies after being the most loyal goon of the show. Like, goddamn, you can tell bro heard Eren's speech. I both love and hate Flock, and Zoe's death scene was bittersweet. She went out in her own way and she's happy with it, but goddamn, hearing Levi say, "Dedicate your heart," woo. And so we get to the final stage. Everyone teams up to fight Eren. Eren summons past Titan holders, which is a cool scene, mind you. Armin gets captured and talks to Zeke, which leads to heavily injured and on death's door Levi finally killing Snake. Wow, Zeke. And stopping the rumbling, but then there's a weird worm thing in the show. In the origin story of Ymir, it gave her powers to transform into a Titan, and it led to, well, the creation of Titans. And that worm thing lets out a gas that turns everyone into a Titan. But then Mikasa flies into the Eren Titan and she decapitates him, ending everything and kissing him goodbye. Now, for the aftermath, the Titan curse is gone. Eren talked to his friends before death and erased their memories. The story ends with 80% of humanity wiped out. There's still conflict because there are remnants of Flock and Eren at Paradise. The whole crew, Armin, Reiner, and the others, they end up as heroes, and Mikasa goes to the tree to bury Eren, and she just stays there forever until she dies. Kinda dumb, not gonna lie. So, yeah. That's the story of Attack on Titan. And not gonna lie, I have no idea why I wrote this entire script when I could have been vague for a review. Overall, though, the show is incredible, but as mentioned, I think Season 4 is the weakest. All of these assholes of the future Titan and World War II really hurt my enjoyment. Everything else, including the rumbling, was genuine cinema, which makes me proudly say that this is basically just JoJo Part 4 again for me. A 6 out of 10 and a 9 out of 10 in the same season. I think the show and the characters within, the world as well, is just so well done. The female characters aren't gooner bait. They're hot, but they aren't gooner bait. They're all interesting and flawed, the males included. The amount of good writing here is insane. Like, even a throwaway character, like the person that randomly trained those recruits, had incredible writing. The enemies turned allies had good writing. The allies turned enemies also had it. While there's a character I despise, Gabi, she had an arc. A very, and I mean very predictable arc, but she had one. She wasn't well done. I think Falco is a much better representation of Marley's propaganda. But yeah, Gabi is an extreme version of him. Falco was lied to, but then realized, wait, these people are humans too. But Gabi stood fast as a waste of oxygen. I straight up wanted to skip scenes of her. That's how bad she was. Whatever. Point being, the characters are incredible. Here's my tier list. Finally, I'll get into the music. So, the music slaps. Like, the music is genuinely incredible. Unfortunately, I don't think it dethroned JoJo because the variety of JoJo is just insane. Plus, there's most of the quantity. But it is incredible. Hiroyuki Sawano, he really crushed it as always. Kill la Kill has probably my top 5 anime songs, Blumenkranz. And as soon as I heard German in Attack on Titan, I was thinking, wait, is this Sawano? And yes it is. I don't know what his obsession with German is, but man, I love it. Every season had banger after banger. The openings, well, there's 3, well 4, but with a caveat. Genuine S-tier openings. The others are very much mediocre, unfortunately. My top 3 are Crimson Bow and Arrow, My War, and of course, The Rumbling. The others are exceptionally mediocre, is what I would say, but Red Swan is an easy S-tier song. It's just that I think it doesn't fit as an intro. Like, as an intro, it's mid. But God, as a song itself, I've listened to it on loop for so much. It's just so good.
I would never cry to a Frank Ocean song. Let's be honest. I am a man.
The only other outlier is Sasageyo because it grew on me, but even then I think it's mid. Everything else is just whatever. Same applies for the outros. Only outros that hooked me are Akatsuki no Requiem and Yugure no Tori. Everything else is just mid. The music is immaculate in this show, and just like the JoJo video, I might dedicate a video to it. But I mean, that's really the gist of it. I have nothing else to say. I still need to soak in this one-of-a-kind show. Despite the issues, it's incredible. Is it perfect? No. Did it have potential to be perfect? Oh yeah. Is it my favorite? No. Is it in my top 3? Yes, sir. I think JoJo is my subjective number 1, while Samurai Champloo is my objective number 1. Attack on Titan, if it didn't fumble the season 4, would have dethroned Champloo as the objective best one, but in any case, it's in my top 3. So I guess it dethrones Kill la Kill, because as much as I love that show, it was way too horny even for me. Amazing show, genuinely amazing, incredible characters and incredible animation. One of a kind. Oh wait, I just remembered. Here's a hot take. I didn't like Mappa taking over the final season. I think Mappa's art style was very samey. So, don't crucify me. But yeah, that's all she wrote. See you next time, whenever that might be. And I have no idea how this video is gonna do because, you know, copyright and all that kind of stuff. I'll try and avoid clips and yeah, I don't fucking know, man. See ya. Goodbye, chat.
Bye bye.